All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another startup vlog. If you're new here, I'm building a startup completely from scratch and documenting the whole process and pretty much sharing any problems I go through, pretty much sharing everything that I go through on a weekly basis. I'm also reading one book a week, like I said last video, and this is the book I read. I read this one last week, or I have like 10 pages left. I'm gonna finish it tonight and then tomorrow. So I guess like every Tuesday I'll start a new book. But then after that book, I think I'm gonna try, I got like halfway through this one, Power of Now. I know this one, a lot of you guys have probably heard about this one. Great book, but I really want to read it. It's one of those books that just takes so much mental energy to like kind of really get the whole point of the book across. So I'm going to restart it. I honestly, it was a while ago since I read it, so I forget most of it anyways. I'm going to restart that, and that's going to be the book to read for next week. Maybe I'll include some ratings too on the books that I read in case you guys are interested in like reading that book or whatever. So this one, 10 pages left, like I said, but honestly, I rate this one like a 9.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 10. It's close. And it's like, part of it is because it's so relevant to me right now. Like I listened to the audio book a while ago and it wasn't really resonating with me, but it wasn't compared to how it is now. And now it's like everything that I was reading, it's like, some chapters you'll read and it sticks more because it's relevant to like whatever you're going through right now. Well, that book, every single sentence I read was like super relevant to like what I was going through right now. So if you're like someone who's creating content, or you just want to start, if you kind of have a feeling you want more out of life than the traditional like work a job route like that, I would 100% recommend to anybody. The only thing is, the reason it didn't resonate with me fully before is because it's kind of more, it is broad, but like it's kind of more centered towards creating content. Like that's kind of like the foundation of it. But again, if you want to start creating content, it's a great book to kind of help you get over those initial hurdles. So yeah, anyways. So I haven't done a user update, but this is 495 invited. So out of everyone who signed up on the wait list, 495 got invites. And then the amount of signups, 229 total signups. So of course, like I said last video, like I don't know a whole lot about the retention, but just out of everyone who signed up, 229, or out of everyone who signed up for the wait list, 229 actually created accounts, which isn't bad. It's a good starting point. I mean, like I said, majority of the signups came from YouTube. So like if you are wanting signups for your wait list, like YouTube, there's no downside to it. And also one thing that I noticed that I did, and I've noticed this across other platforms as well, whenever you have like a waitlist sign up page, instead of saying like, oh, sign up to the waitlist or join the waitlist, like using, and I might have even gotten a couple of you guys like this as well, or it makes it more intriguing, is if you use like the words request and invite, and it's like to them or to people reading it, they don't really know. It just gives you kind of a sense of scarcity when you have to request it. It's like not guaranteed, even though it is, like you're gonna get an invite. Just by making that small change in wording helps quite a bit. So just something to think about if you are creating your own waitlist page. So I gotta start the full-time job now. And then after this, I'll get into kind of the plan of what I have to work on today for the app. It's kind of been a slight pivot, not really a massive one, but I'll get into it more in detail later on. But it's honestly kind of reignited a spark too again, where I was getting so tired of the Stripe integration and then the Google Calendar integration. It's like all these integrations. It's like I wanted to build something new. So this kind of what I landed on next is, I think it's going to be a great feature to have, and it reignited that spark into like creating something new. So I'm looking forward to that part. But yeah, let's get this workday done with and try to enjoy it as best as I can. Okay, so in terms of updates to the app, there hasn't been like crazy, like I was doing the Google Calendar integration, but like it's a lot harder than I thought, and I still want to do it, but like we might have to rework how the calendar structure is set up, and I don't know if I want to spend a lot of time doing that right now, because I'm not sure exactly how many people would use that right now. Like I don't know, it's still on the list. Like I want to get to it eventually, but I think just like right now it's gonna take quite a bit of time to get that set up and working. And yeah, so like it'll be still up on the priority list, but then I moved on to kind of getting the editor all finished up and getting so you can actually upload files and everything and upload images. So right now you can upload images just like this, videos, files, whatever you want. You can upload it now, which is nice. But the thing that sucks is that it's easier to upload. Like there's an easy thing to upload it and you can handle file uploads. But when the block deletes, you can't really like remove the file. I'm gonna look into that because I think there might be something that you can check for block deletions, and then if it's like a certain type, maybe you can call something. I don't know, I'll have to look into that further, but I know a lot of people were kind of having that problem too. So my solution to that, and it's not built out yet, but you would be able to go to your settings and under the storage tab, you'll see all of your, even if the block is deleted, that image block's deleted, you'll still have to delete it twice, which kind of sucks. Or even if you delete the note, you'd still have to delete the image from the storage as well. So like maybe I don't know, I kind of want to handle that a little better, because let's say you have a video or something in your notes and then you delete the note and then your usage is still including that video, you'd have to go to your storage, look for that video, and then delete the video there again. So I don't know, I want to improve that a little bit, but yeah, from what I could tell, there wasn't an easy way to handle the file or the block deletes that are images, but I don't know. Other than that, I just kind of changed the slight color changes and I increased the spacing between blocks so that now I found when you had two paragraphs, it was too close together, but now it's a little bit more spaced out. So, and I was also working on a math block too. It's not on this branch right now, but just another block for math equations, which is going to use latex, or I'm going to start with latex because it might be a little easier on my end, and then eventually make it so you can almost like type in like just pretty much manually make equations. But I got that started yesterday, and it's gonna be a little complicated. I was honestly struggling a bit with it, but eventually that will be done. I don't know how long it's gonna take me though, which is the only thing, but yeah, so eventually that will be done. It'll definitely take me a little bit longer to look into that. And then the next thing I was gonna do is shareable notes, which I've got a couple requests actually for shareable notes. So then it kind of dawned on me to have kind of like, you can create a note that's shareable or a public note, and then you could also have an option to share it to the community. And now this is where it gets complicated, because I don't really know how universities handle it with like academic misconduct. So like if you were to share a note to like this community tab, which is what I'm calling it, is that academic misconduct? Like, I don't know. I want to say if it's your own notes, it's not. But if it's like, if you're uploading class documents, then maybe that qualifies. But either way, like, I still think it would be a great thing to have. If it's your own notes, I think it's fine. But basically, this is the idea I had for it. So, and this kind of unlocks the door to a whole host of new features too. So, like, basically, you'd come in your community, right? So these are all the recent, like, the public notes, and then highly rated, and then the flashcards as well. So you can share or pretty much publish to the community where anyone can access this. Anyone can access these notes, flashcards, or whatever. And it's by school too. So you could come in here, search for your school, search for your course, whatever, to find relevant notes or similar notes. And then like top contributors will be at the top here, which then kind of brings me to, because I feel like it'd be kind of cool to have like a leaderboard in, right? So then we'd have to have a profile to kind of, I guess not right away, we don't need the profile, but eventually it'd be nice to have the profile to where you could even direct message people. Right now it's just a spot where you can see kind of like public notes and everything, but it'd be nice to kind of have that as like get into discussion boards, finding people to study with, like accountability partners. Like this, I think this community thing could be pretty big, at least for like on the school side of things. So I'm gonna start really basic with just public documents that you want to share, and then you can get upvoted or whatever, and then like Reddit where you have like your karma, and then you can have a leaderboard. I still want to flesh out some ideas of what you could benefit from being a top contributor. Like I think someone who messaged me brought up the idea of like comparing it to Strava, like how people post their Strava runs. So it's like if you have notes that I guess like you want to share, then you can just share your notes like you would a Strava run. So it's something to think about. I think it would be good to even just make shareable notes, but then having notes in one spot where you can find other resources in your class or by your school, whatever, that isn't behind a paywall. Because Course Hero and all those garbage other sites, like you have to, like it just seems like such a headache. You finally find the thing you're looking for and then boom, paywall. So yeah, I don't know. I think solutions is where it gets tricky. Like if people are posting solutions to things, then like that would probably be academic misconduct. So like I think I might just have to put like make sure like anything is not doesn't fall on me, you know, like the risk is yours, but then like I still want people to use it. So maybe I'll have to look into that more too. But I think if it is solutions to something, it probably is academic misconduct. But I think notes, if it's your own notes, it's pretty much the same, because there's no way, say if you have your own written notes and then you share it to someone in person on paper, that's not academic misconduct. So it's basically the same thing. So I don't know what kind of thing I would have to have from my end on like how I handle it, but at the same time, like I think if it's just notes, it shouldn't be a big deal. And like even flashcards, like Quizlet, you can find flashcards and it's fine. So most recently, everything I've been working on has been stuff that's been super challenging, like don't even know where to start with it, and then like I'm learning it, so it's like a big struggle. But now finally I'm a little bit more in my comfort zone on this, where yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of work, but it's gonna be like I know exactly what to do and what to do next. So that's honestly a breath of fresh air, to be honest. So also, if you guys want some more inspiration for design, like I don't know, I think a lot of developers, like myself included, like you can be really good at developing, but design is kind of like the harder part. So if you guys want some, basically how I learn how to design things, it's a lot of inspiration, a lot of trial and error, but most of the times you're just looking for inspiration, taking certain aspects from one design you like, looking at why you like it, what they did, and then just bringing that into your own design. So it's not like I don't want to say copying, but it's a lot of inspiration, honestly. So there's some sites here that I use to look at. Refero.design is one of them. And then godly.website is another one as well. So these are just great sites for just finding inspiration. And you can see there's just so many sites here where you can just get inspiration off of. I think this might just, oh no, I guess this has dashboards too and everything. So this has everything. So just some great spots to go. Not sponsored or anything. Like those are the things that I use. Same with Dribbble. Dribbble is also another good one. Just until you can develop your own style, right? Because when you don't really know what to look for in a design, when you see other people's designs and you can kind of just like reverse engineer them and why you like them, and like get the hierarchy down right, and like these small little things that they do, you'll be able to just throw that into your own designs and kind of come up with your own style. So the best way to practice though is just to make designs. So just pick a project and design for it. Even if it doesn't look the best, just know it'll keep on getting better. And yeah, use the resources like this for inspiration and then put your own it's on it. And yeah, it's easy as that. Okay, 229 pages in this. So just did the math, it's 32 pages a day. So I'll split that up, probably like, I think it's actually 33 because you got to round up. So I'll probably split that up like half in the morning, half before bed. 30, like over 30 pages, kind of a lot. I think 10 is a perfect sweet spot, but obviously I'm going to need to do more than that. So I think 15 or 16, 17 split up isn't too bad, but yeah, anyways, this is the book for this week. So all right, guys. So yesterday I didn't record too much. Just one of those days. Wasn't really feeling it. I still managed to get 2 hours. I kind of forced myself to get 2 hours of work done after the workday. Basically, I was just working on making notes shareable. So now when you come to your note, there's a little icon at the top right here. You can click share, and then I'll unpublish it quickly. And then this pops up. You can click publish. You get a link for it. You can unpublish it, view it, whatever. And then this is kind of the view right now that I'm working with of the public notes. So anyone can access this. I still want to add something along the top for like navigating back to the app. And then if you're not signed in, kind of give you a place to kind of log in, that kind of thing. But other than that, it's going pretty smooth. Haven't ran into too many issues with it. It's honestly been pretty straightforward, just time consuming to build it all out. Also, if you guys are building something on your own, let me know in the comments what it is, because I'm always, some people DM me on Instagram, and I'm always interested to see kind of what you guys are building right now. So yeah, if you're building something, comment it down below. Don't post links, I guess it will be might restrict the comment, but yeah, let me know what you guys are working on, and yeah, I'd love to hear about it. But the plan for today, and the goal for today, is to kind of, I guess I planned this out a little bit ago, but get the like set up, but I guess I need to finish the public note first, and then allow users to upload avatars. Honestly, that I might move that till tomorrow or later on until I get more foundation built, and then figure out we're gonna have to have a section to save, because when you're on a public note, like I want to be able to save it to your own notes, but I don't want to crowd everything in here. like even your shared notes. I mean, maybe you could, because maybe you'd want to save the note in your folders, which is honestly, now that I think about it, it's something I'm gonna have to think about. But it would almost be nice just to have saved notes or saved flashcards, like just separately, right? Like maybe it would be okay to have it all in like in one spot where your other things are, but for some reason, like something's telling me to keep it separate, to keep it more organized. Maybe the option of having both wouldn't be bad, but yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that a bit more. But that's the plan for today. So hopefully I can get a decent amount started on that. So I just recorded like a 10-minute clip, and the camera was facing, I was using the front facing camera. So all you saw was my monitor that whole entire time. The 10-minute clip. Basically, what I was saying in that 10-minute clip was, so I'm reading The Power of Now, right? And the one thing that isn't clicking with me, because like I feel like on one end, I've been getting told about, it's very important to like intensely visualize your future self, like down to the every detail, like what you want it to look like, where you're living, what car you're driving, how much money you're making, like get really intense and really feel it. Like I see that everywhere, right? It's in reality transurfing, talks a lot about that, and psycho-cybernetics. But The Power of Now is almost like the complete opposite, where I'm almost starting to think it's contradicting it. And I don't know, like I still have a lot to read. I'm only on almost like page 90. So like maybe it'll make more sense as I read. But the one thing that's not making sense is he pretty much talks about how the present moment is all you ever have, which makes sense. Like I agree with that. Like the only time you ever experience anything is now, right? Like you can say in the future, think about the future, but it doesn't matter, because it's like the only time you ever get is now. And same with the past. Like if you get stuck in the past too long, all it does is bring you anxiety, like dread, guilt, right? But if you're truly present and you eliminate past and future, he says that basically you can't feel those emotions in the present. Like if you ask yourself genuinely right now, if there's a problem, right, in your life, 99% of the time there isn't a problem. And he also says that problems are made up in the mind, because even in do or die situations, you don't think it's a problem because you're just acting, right? And you're so present in a do or die situation that there's no time to think, oh, this is a problem. It's just like, I gotta friggin' do this. But then he also says if you think that your life will improve if you have more status, more money, more any external thing, like a relationship, if you have like that mindset, that if it's just like, oh yeah, that would be an improved state if I had those things, or if I get to this certain point, or if I have ambitions to get to this certain point because it's going to make my state improved. He says that that's like a bad thing to have, because then you're relying on external factors, which I can agree with. But then it comes down to, if you're genuinely in the present moment and you enjoy, and let's say you are in that enlightened state and you genuinely enjoy this present moment and you have no complaints, everything's great, what is the motivation to get to that improved state? If you're so present that everything's perfect, like where does that motivation to then improve your state with these external factors, like where does that come from? I feel like if you were so happy with the present moment, you wouldn't want to change anything. You wouldn't want to strive towards anything. So like that's the one thing that, like, okay, if you're not even thinking about the future, like if it doesn't improve your current state, where is the motivation coming from? So like that's the one thing that like it's not making sense for me. And like I put it into ChatGPT to kind of see if I could wrap my head around it, because like for myself, maybe you guys relate to this too, I get a lot of my self-esteem from knowing what type of person I'm going to become, right? Knowing the path that I'm on is a good path. And like maybe that relies too much on the future, but like just kind of, that's just where my confidence comes from, knowing, okay, I might not be where I am right now, admittedly, but I know I will. And then that's where I'm confident, right? That's where I get, like, I feel my confidence. But like, I feel like goals would lose their effectiveness if they weren't associated with, okay, I have this goal, it's going to improve my current state, and that's where I get the motivation to do the goal. So I don't know. But yeah, then ChatGPT was like saying, detach from the outcome, embrace the process, which makes sense. And like focus on present benefits. Like there it says, look how the current journey is already like improving your life, like the way you're, like how much you're learning, the way you're growing. and focus maybe the good feeling on that. But then, yeah, I don't know. It's something, if you guys have read the book or you have similar, maybe you've thought about this before, let me know your thoughts on that, because that's the one link I'm kind of struggling to connect between, okay, visualizing future, having goals to improve the state you're in versus staying super present. Like, I don't know. Also, I don't know if you guys even like when I do these weird talks like this, but like I can see the retention drops whenever I do them. But like I said, I think last video, like I'm only doing them because I'm using it as like a way to speak to my future self. And if you resonate with it, then great. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week.